Today we're going to look at Theresa May's chart and using transformational Vedic astrology. And we see in the chart, if you were to look at the eastern horizon when she was born, you would see the ascendant Libra rising at 23 degrees. 23 degrees becomes the most effective point of every house. So any planet like Jupiter or Mars that's within 5 degrees has great impact in the chart. Now, in Transformation of Vedic Astrology, we give great emphasis to any of the multrikona signs, which are 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, and 11. So we say that any of those signs in the houses they represent are what she's working on in this lifetime. For example, the ninth sign of Scorpio in the third house has to do with business and communication. The 11th sign of Aquarius, ruled by Saturn, is in the fifth house. So she's working on investments and education. And then you have the first sign of Aries, ruled by Mars, in the house of partnerships. She's working on that. And then you have the fourth sign of Cancer in the 10th house, ruled by Moon. So working on career. Then you have the fifth sign of Leo, ruled by Sun in the 11th house. She's working on income and fulfilling desires and friends. And then you have the sixth sign of Virgo, ruled by Mercury, in the 12th house. So she's working on spiritual growth through letting go of attachments. So, and then you have the seventh sign of Libra, ruled by Venus, in the first house. So she's working on fulfilling her life purpose, what she came here to do. So first we're going to look and see how the planets are operating, and then we'll see when they're operating, and then we'll see what remedies might be helpful for her. At the time of this recording, she's going through a lot of turmoil with Brexit and a divided House of Parliament. Great divisions. So Sun is at 14 degrees. It's ruling this house of income, friendships, and fulfillment of desires, and it's placed in the 12th house. So any sign that's in the 6th, 8th, or the 12th becomes functional malefic in the system of transformational Vedic astrology. So it can cause harm. So Mercury is malefic in her chart, and Sun, because it's in this house, it can create sleep issues, depression, feeling of separation, things like that, controversy, and health issues. So Sun has to do with vitality, strength, self-esteem, and because it's in that 12th house, there is some issues there. Now, Moon is at 7 degrees, and it is rising at 7 degrees, and it's placed in the house of income and friendships, and it is ruling the house of career. So through her career is through friendships and fulfillment of desires. It's a very good chart for politics. Mars is at 20 degrees. Now, Mars is ruling the house of friendships and partnerships and comforts living abroad, and it's placed in the house of investments and education. So she basically, any politician, partnerships are very important for them to become elected, and she is dedicated to educating the people um, through politics. Mercury, remember we said it's functional malefic at 5 degrees, and it is placed in its own sign. And this gives ability to communicate, but because it's in this 12th house, there will be disagreements, there will be conflict and controversy through her speech. And that's what we're seeing in Parliament right now. Jupiter is at 24 degrees. It's close to the most effective point, so it becomes very powerful in her chart, just as Mars was, because it was within the 5 degrees of the 23-degree rising sign. And it is placed in the house of investments and education, and this is also a house of children. Now, and Jupiter also represents husband and children. So it's placed in this house of income, and so it gives Jupiter is about politics and law, and as well as Sun. So definitely gives her abilities in politics and communication. It's ruling this house of communication. Um, Venus is at 1 degree, so it's very fairly weak, and it's ruling the house of life purpose. So um, that gives a bit of lack of self-esteem, and probably contributes to the issues that she's having right now. No confidence or confidence vote from the parliament kind of been going back and forth. And Venus also has to do with the pancreas, and she was diagnosed with diabetes. And because Venus is weak, that makes that an issue. Saturn is at 5 degrees, and it is actually ruling this house of children and investments and education. And it is conjunct with Rahu in the house of wealth, property, and recognition. So it gives her desire. Rahu is desire, gives desire for serving the public through politics. But Rahu makes it weak, and so she had no children. And so, yeah, those are how the planets are operating. Now we'll look and see when they're operating. So she got married during a Sun-Mars period. Mars is partnerships, relationships. Her dad died during a Sun Rahu period. Sun represents father, Rahu, unexpected events. She got voted into parliament during a Jupiter period, which was the politics and communication. She became secretary during a Saturn period, which is service to the public, and became prime minister during a Rahu Venus period. So Venus, again, had to do with fulfilling life purpose and desire for that life purpose to serve others. And the first Brexit vote, that when she first got into office, which was very controversial, was during also the Rahu Venus period. Now, the latest, one of the later votes in December of 18, where they gave her a vote of no confidence. That was during let's see here. Rahu Moon period. And Moon was transiting, I think, the 8th house at that point. So causing a lot of issues. This eighth house creates obstacles. And then a couple days ago, on January 15, 2019, if we want to look at that chart real quick, we can see the transits. So we're still now we're still in this Rahu moon period, which can cause issues. But if we looked a couple days ago, you see that Rahu and Sun are right on top. Ketu and Sun and Rahu are all afflicting each other. And Sun is lighting up the house of family and career. So causing, unexpected events with the parliament there and a lot of controversy. Now, the next day, you see today is the 16th, she did get a vote of confidence. So you can see that Moon, which is being afflicted by K2, it's 5 houses away, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, is now about 3 degrees away, so a little less impact. So it's a little bit of good news today for her. So what can we do to remedy the chart? So in her chart, we want to transform Mercury. We don't want to strengthen it because it's malefic. Rahu and Ketu by chants and charities. Chants for Shiva on Saturdays, and K2 chants for Ganesh on Thursdays, feeding the birds for Rahu, helping spiritual organizations for K2, and then Mercury is helping children on Wednesdays. So, and Vishnu chants on Wednesdays would work as well. Now, that doesn't mean that, if you're not open to listening to Sanskrit chanting, you couldn't, enjoy any kind of chanting from whatever tradition or religion you're from. That would be helpful on those days, especially. Also, to strengthen all of the rest of the planets, the Sun, the Moon, Mars, Jupiter, Venus, Saturn, by wearing a kavash that contains the Devata yantras, would be a very powerful way to strengthen those planets. Otherwise, you could wear a moonstone, you could wear red coral, you could wear blue sapphire, yellow sapphire, diamond. All of those things could also strengthen those planets as well. I want to thank you for listening to this discussion about Theresa May's chart. I wish her all the best. And if you're interested in learning more about your chart using the transformational Vedic astrology, which is extremely accurate for predicting what's coming and how you can remedy and improve your karma, basically change your karma, change your life, you can go to vastucreations.com under services and order a life reading or a yearly reading. Or if you want to learn how to do this kind of astrology, you can go to AmericanInstituteOfVastu.com, and you'll see that we have astrology classes, and you can actually get certified. So thank you again for listening. Yeah, I'm done. Hold on.